There we go. How's everybody doing? So I haven't made hadn't made any videos in a couple days. I haven't really been feeling that good. Got some kind of cold or whatever. I'm not like trying to fear monger or anything. Like I don't have the. I don't even want to say the words. It's not what this video is about. My take on that is completely different than what I should think. But see, someone's on. Hi, how you doing? Um, so today I woke up and I'm not trying to remember any of my dreams today. I'm just trying to take a break from all that. Figured I'd read one of my poems. Um, it's called State of Mind, and I wrote it and I didn't like proofread it. So I wanted to just kind of go off the head, you know. I don't want to have a script or anything like that. Yeah, I take some notes, but those are just PowerPoints. And then I just go off the top of the head from there, because when I do that, I speak from the inside and not from just the brain. The brain is too clouded and full of judgment and negative to even speak from your heart. So when you just open your mouth and let the words flow and don't even realize what you're saying, and the stuff that come out, you're kind of even confused in the beginning, but in the end, it all comes together. That's pretty much how my brain works, and the way I think, I guess, my train of thought or state of mind. Like I said, I'm a little cloudy. I'm not feeling good, so sometimes the words come out a little backwards or jumbled or whatever. I try to slow it down for people, because if I were to speak really fast and just throw it all out there, I probably wouldn't make sense for a lot of people, so I got to slow it down. One thing I wanted to talk about is the comments that I get. I really appreciate the positive people. They help me contradict the negative ones. And so what I'll do is I'll scroll through my comments and find the bad ones first. And those ones, I read them. And of course, it's going to put me in that state of mind, like, why would you even say that? So I use that. And I think of a positive thing. Maybe this person's one of the perpetrators. Maybe they're one of the gang stalkers. Maybe they're one of the people that are viewing and they're trying to discredit us. So don't take what they say too hard. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a doubt. So when other people read it, they're like, "Oh, this guy's making fun of him," and then maybe it might click or something, and it'll cause more people to be negative. It's just a trigger. It's just a tactic to bring more doubt. So I'll read those, and then when I'm done with that, I might comment or something like that. I try to stay positive, but most of the things I say cut to the bone with truth. And that's where I could say something positive, but to them it'll be a negative thing because they're negative. It looks like I'm skipping around. I'm probably being watched or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's my internet connection. This computer isn't the greatest. So one of the things I wanted to show, here I am jumping around again. Before I forget, I wanted to show the EMF that's coming through my window. I explained how this works in another video, and they come through, like if you're facing the street where a power line is or whatever, they use those electromagnetic signals or waves or whatever to bring it into your house. And where I have my stuff, I can move the computer and turn everything completely off, and it's over 300. It's like 350 to 390 sometimes, and it's at head level. And this is where I get most of my headaches. This is where I need to change it, but I'm an air symbol and my direction is east. And so when I do these videos, I like to be in the right direction, the right state of mind. So the positive comments, those are awesome. They help me feel better after the negative ones. They help me find more things to talk about, more ways to help everybody. I see somebody keeps jumping in and jumping out. I'm not sure if that's somebody trying to watch but not be seen, or if they're just accidentally clicking into the same video more than once, or maybe it's different people that are being signaled to watch the video. Some of the subscribers. That's what I hope it is. That's what I'm going to believe it is. It's the subscribers, and they just don't really have the time. I talk for a long time, so positive comments, how I feel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate those. Um, the triggers they use in those situations. So like when I'm reading that, it's gonna bring me down a little bit, and those are the times that they have a chance to trigger. And that's when they'll say doubt yourself, or they're making fun of you, or you should be embarrassed, or something like that. Well, don't listen to those. Those are designed to do a certain thing, and it's not what you want. You want the other side. You want to be positive. And so those are the types of triggers. And then if it's a positive feeling, those are hard for them to work with. So they'll sit there and trigger you even harder. This time repeating them multiple times over and over, using phrases and possible visuals if you're a visual person. I'm going to jump down to this one down here because these are ways that you can counteract that. I think of white paper, like I'm drawing something. I don't have one of my drawing books over here, but I'll just think of a white piece of paper here. So here's just a white piece of paper. I usually don't use lines, right? So take this and take an imprint in your mind. Think of that. Nothing there, no words, and visualize that when they're trying to trigger you, and that kind of gives them like no answer. White paper. What's white paper? It's a counteraction. And that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for something they can work with, something they can build a trigger off of. Because when you think of just straight white paper, it doesn't weigh on you at all. It doesn't affect you. And so another thing is find a place in your life that reminds you of a place or of yourself when you're in that place and nothing bad ever happened, like nothing, like a good time in your life, right? A good lengthy time in your life, so you can't think of anything negative that happened during those times. That's another good counteraction. Then you start thinking of these situations every time you hear one of them trigger. This gives them nothing to work with, and your algorithm will start getting positive because they don't have any negative situations. They're looking for people that have the doubt. They're looking for people that's made mistakes. That's where the cover-up we're looking for criminals is. It's not a cover-up. It's exactly what they're looking for. And it's not the type of criminal that we see as criminal. It's not what society has told us the word criminal means. It's just a style of thinking. It's mistakes made. It's how much doubt you have in your mind about anything. And they just use the word criminal for it to be a negative thought or reaction to the word. Just like the word schizophrenia. That is a word a lot of people look down on. They're like, oh, you're not right in the head, right? You hear things that other people don't. You're not normal, right? Well, what is normal? I mean, they're trying to normalize that. So is that going to be normal here in about 10 years or so? When everybody starts getting schizophrenia? When it's not schizophrenia, it's just, I kind of believe that they're selling everybody on the dark web. Pretty much consciousnesses. The new human trafficking type thing. This is without having to touch the person, without them even knowing half the time. They asked me one day what I think about my mind and how I would explain it, because I use a lot of analogies, and I think of my brain as like a waterfall. It's a slow stream coming in, right? Then it speeds up right here, and this is where my mind it goes really fast, and it starts to speed up because it's about to drop. And once it gets back to the like cerebrum and cerebellum, it starts to go a lot faster and starts to well, in your brain it starts to turn into choice and limbotics and reptilian. Um, so as it falls down, it's being placed pretty much, and at the bottom is your memory and your lessons learned and all that kind of stuff, and that's your reptilian. You react in a way that it's like your heart beating. No, there's no thinking. It's an automatic thing, and that's the pool of knowledge that you have. And I always think of myself as the type that can stick a bucket out into the falling, into like the limbotics, and choose which water I want to drink. You know what I mean? And sometimes my buckets are labeled different feelings, different types of reactions. But I kind of like a little, real quick drawing of what it would look like as a visual, so other people can see it as well. It's not the best. I really just went. I forgot to draw my nose. Wonder why. But anyways, here's the picture of the person. Here's the stream going in, and it gets faster. And then this is where your cerebrum and cerebellum are, and this goes into your pool, which is your memory and your backbone or whatever. But this is what I was talking about, and it maybe I should have made it go through the eyes and then up that way, but that's kind of like your third eye place, what makes you an individual. That's just like a small representation, and that's kind of how I see it. Everybody, you make up your own, however you understand the way that you are. Let's see. Oh yeah, I already told that. Number of comments. I get a few here and there. But it's always the negative ones that show up. The positive ones never stay, or they never show up on the feed. I only get a signal, and I get to read it and reply, but it never puts it on the page. And the negative ones, they're always put on the page, trying to discredit me, and that's fine, because it's not about the comments. It's about just people watching and what they do with it. Let's see. Sometimes I'll have people jump on while I do a video. That last video I made, it didn't show anybody viewing, and I started getting comments. And these comments were very inappropriate and trying to be sexual and all stuff, and because I was explaining voyeurism, and that's part of gang stalking, and it's like an obsession. It's an obsession of your life, and at some point they're going to want to enter your life, and that's when it starts to really get dangerous. So be careful on who you talk to about your life and all that. Just random people, those are the ones that, why are they even asking these types of questions in the first place? Just keep an eye out. Don't be paranoid. Don't be paranoid. Just live your life, but just stay aware. Be aware of your surroundings. 1111. If you see that all the time, then you're on the right track. And you're aware of your surroundings. You know what's going on. The last few days, their demeanor has changed. They're a lot more quiet. Apparently they said they got a new crew in or whatever. That probably just plays off of my beliefs. But they don't talk as much and they don't interact as much. They don't exactly have the same voice, but they do, and their attitude has changed. They don't use the same lingo. I think they're trying to get me in a different way. Their tactics are damn near the same. The triggers are old triggers that seeing if they weigh anything anymore. Maybe they're going down the list, seeing what they got. But all I got to do is just attach a little heart bump or something like that to it, and then I I know what triggers they're going to start using. So another thing I want to talk about was, do you guys ever see those black vehicles, the ones with dark tinted windows that, kind of just like creep around? I've seen them when this very first started happening back in 2014. There was two of them, and they chased me up the road. They parked in the middle of the road to where I couldn't pass, and I had my pregnant girlfriend in the car, and I went around them and sped up the road and parked, and they couldn't find me because I went up a different road. And when I came back, I could see their turnaround marks in the gravel that's on like a three-way type situation. So on the other direction, I explained this in another video, but I just wanted to point it out again. But they were in the middle of the road again, and I sped down and went up another road and went another direction into a different town. But these vehicles chased us and tried to push us off the road when all this first started happening, and I wasn't the only one that experienced it. My girlfriend did too, and she's one of those very healthy, good eater type people, and so there is no way that anybody could ever say that drugs or alcohol or just paranoia. She didn't know what was going on. At first, she didn't understand or even believe me, but she experienced that. And that kind of opened her eyes on the whole situation. So it's just kind of proof right there that somebody that's not even being accessed, or maybe she is and she just can't hear it, experience the same thing that somebody that is. And it kind of gives a little bit more proof to the situation. Let's see. Okay, so this next poem, I was kind of angry, wasn't really thinking right. I used the same rhyme word, I think, twice in the beginning, and I did that on purpose, just to kind of show the repeat and how it's changed. Other than that, I can't remember what the rest of it says. Just the very first part is what I kind of remember. But here we go. This one is called State of Mind. In the beginning, I didn't understand. Didn't realize they were trying to drive me till I couldn't stand. All the demands, the chatbot couldn't even understand. The doubt raises questions about to teach me or teach them a lesson. This is recession. Their impression is interception, oppression. They are addicted, or call it an obsession. It's a civil war within ourselves. Make you hear your subconscious and how it felt. The cards you have been dealt, they lash so hard it could leave a welt, making you believe anything off the way you felt. Emotion, visual, and action. That's the way they get their satisfaction. Light camera action, seen through your eyes just to get some traction. I mess with them so hard, their computers are crashing. They impulse people till they break. How much can you take? This program is what we make. Don't let them grab a hold and take. Good choices for your own sake. These guys are terrorists stealing our minds. It's not for them to embrace. Your memories are altered. Know that just in case. Embrace. They turn people into a nutcase. Schizo. It shows all the people talking about the RNM in their videos. So many people in a row. Let's grow. Show them it isn't simple. Everything and every time they choose to cause a ripple. So they can prosecute. They're here to bot and root our minds, harvesting like we're pines, discarding us like we're rinds. Okay, some of that was a little hard to read. Like I said, when I get into these kind of modes, I sometimes I just write so fast I forget words, or I'll start spelling it backwards or something like that. Here we go. Um, oh yeah, that was one thing I wanted to show was the EMF, but I'll just write that down real quick. And it's extremely high. The only place I can find another um, signal like that is the refrigerator's motor, and so that's pretty high. Let me go through word for word. In the beginning, I didn't understand, and that's the truth. And I wouldn't expect anybody to understand what it's like in the very beginning, because you don't really know what the heck's going on, and your state of mind is just like, whoa. Didn't realize they were trying to drive me until I couldn't stand. That's exactly what they're trying to do: destroy our lives. Voyeurism is an extremely serious thing, and it's an obsession, pretty much. And so they get obsessed with trying to destroy our lives, and that's why everybody's experiencing all these negative things, because they're trying to take everything from you. And I don't know if like this has been turned into a game or something, and they get points for doing this kind of stuff, or maybe get paid for it. I don't really know. So that's maybe something that we can kind of figure out. Let's see. All the demands, they're always trying to, like, when I go pick up a pin, they'll be like, pick up that pin. It's just like, ugh, I'm already doing it. Like, why do you even have to say that? Like, it's not your choice. It was my choice before you even said anything. The chatbot couldn't even understand. I changed the words. I make up my own words sometimes in my head, and I'll just add like a Snoop Dogg to it, like a giggity diggity or something like that, just to make them be like, what the heck? Gosh, I can't say what he's saying because he's not saying the same words. The doubt raises questions. I'm about to teach them a lesson. I create doubt in their mind. They try to do it to us, and do it back. Don't let them do it to you. Use their trigger words against them. Let's see. This is recession or impression is their interception. So I'm causing them to slow down. I'm causing them to take a step back and focus, because I'm not as easy as they thought. Impression is interception. The only impression they give me is they're just trying to intercept our choice making and make our choices for us, and that's going to cause us to be put in the system or be labeled as schizophrenic, which is monitored. The name of the game to this day is control, and control is one of the things that they've always wanted to do with everybody, like the one world order and that kind of stuff. It's they just want control, and being able to control the human brain is an exceptional way to do it. It's hidden, it's covered up, it's not really known to most people on how the brain works. Very few people look into that kind of stuff, and I advise everybody to do it and figure out how your brain works. There's different types of people, and this is where the different types of schizophrenia medication come in as well. They're trying to normalize schizophrenia, and I figured this out because the doctor I went and seen in the beginning, he said that they're getting more and more of these, and not only that, the stuff you see on TV and stuff, or hear it on the radio. I don't watch too much TV. Actually, I only watch like movies and stuff. And then when I watch them, I try to look at the mess ups and the subliminal message and stuff. But anyways, where was I? See how quick my mind goes. Oh yeah, the different types of schizophrenic medication. When I was at the doctor, he's like, well, we've got all the old ones, and then we've got a lot of new ones that you can try, because there's stuff I was allergic to apparently, and stuff that didn't set right with me. And so he kept like changing my stuff up, and that just kind of showed me that with all these new ones, they're preparing for a large amount of people to be claiming schizophrenia, and this schizophrenia is artificial, and there's different types of bodies and different types of reactions that people have to this schizophrenia, and to this these different types of medications, so they need to make one for each category of person. So when they're trying to normalize it like that just shows that they're expecting a big wave. And I believe that it could be this. Us that have been accessed for more than a few years, maybe we're prototypes of the whole situation. I know everything's about to go VR, even Facebook and stuff like that. So that's one thing we need to look at is where it all goes. I went way off track here. Let me keep going. Um, they are addicted, or call it an obsession, and that's voyeurism right there. They're addicted, and it's an obsession. Uh, it's a civil war within ourselves. Make you hear what your subconscious felt. So they're holding us against each other or ourselves. They're allowing you to hear your subconscious and the choices that you can make, and normally you cannot hear that, and it feels like you're making those choices. And so when they bring up a negative choice, it sounds like you're trying to make that choice when you're not. It's still your choice. It's just you can hear it now. And sometimes they put it in their voice, sometimes they put it in your voice. It depends on how advanced they are on you, and how they can access you. I'd always like to switch things up. So what I hear is always something different, and I can change it too. When they say something or give me a choice, I'll just change the words or change it to something positive. So, and every negative will get a negative reaction too, just to boost it. So the cards you have been dealt, they lash you so hard it can leave a welt. Um, there's multiple meanings into that line. One is like I see it as a card game, and we are all playing with our own hands, and making you felt, or it could leave so hard it could leave a welt. That's true. I mean, it could lash your brain so hard that it leaves a welt and it'll stay for a while, and that's where the trigger weighs. So making you believe anything off the way you felt, emotion, visual, and action. So yeah, it's emotional, it's visual, and then you make an action to those feelings, or a decision, which could be an action. So emotion is something that's really hard to control. That's why they're emotions, and we're human, and we have reactions. Being able to counteract an emotion is, I believe, is partial of the way you control your emotion, because they're so like in your reptilian that it's just like bam, you start feeling this way, and you just counteract it with one of those things, like think of white paper, or completely take your mind off of it and think of something else that's great, like the time of your life that nothing bad happened, or a vacation that you had and nothing bad happened. Just something completely positive, and that's what you'd counteract with. And put yourself in that state of mind. How'd you feel during that? That will slow you down and take your mind off the bad situation. So let's see. That's the way they get their satisfaction. Like camera actions, seeing through your eyes just to get traction. Yeah, it's like camera action for them. They come in and they view you. I don't know how they see through our eyes besides some kind of like microscopic bot maybe, or something like that, because I don't think I've ever been in a situation to where I could have been abducted to. Well, I guess I could, but anyways, I don't like to think about that kind of stuff, because unless I have physical proof, it's not true to me. Um, so it'd have to be like a microscopic or something like that. And if you look at nanotechnology nowadays, it's definitely possible. And I've seen quite a few videos saying that they're already in us. They're just waiting to be activated. That's where other things come in, like vaccine, or flu, or anything like that. It's a possibility, and I don't rule anything out unless I have proof. I mess with them so hard, their computers are crashing. That was just a statement that they made when I was going to bed one night, and they said that I beat their computer with condescendence. And that's just being extremely rude to them, taking everything they say and making them look like idiots. They even at one said that they feel so degraded by the way that I speak to them, and that made me feel good. And why would they say that if that made me feel good? I think that was an interaction comment, and they were actually talking to each other, and because they're not allowed to speak to us as a human being, they're only supposed to talk to us with triggers and putting us down, degrading us. So yeah, that was definitely something that kind of brought me up, was knowing that I make them feel low, degraded. Let's see. They they impulse people till they break. How much can you take? And I hope that's the answer to that question is a lot. Uh, Try not to let them make you break. You know, stand up and plant your feet, so when you get shoved with that trigger where you can push back. And that's like a state of mind. Just try to stay positive. I know it's really hard. Believe me. So I'm gonna keep going. This program is what we make it. Don't let them grab a hold and take it. Make good choices for your own sake. So it's like I said, it's a state of mind, and the choices that you make create that state of mind. If there's nothing to doubt, nothing to look back on and be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, then there's nothing for them to play off of. They will grab everything they can and take it from you. The way I kind of see it in my mind is, like when Columbus went over and took the land, it wasn't his to begin with, but he brought his flag and he shoved it down into the ground and was like, this is mine. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're coming into our land, and they're raping and pillaging us and genociding us in our own brain, and taking our land and building their own country or city or their own beliefs. So that's a good way to look at it. This is complete invasion, terrorist attacks. This is one world order in our head. That's not funny. Like I said, everything that I say comes off the top of my head. I don't plan this stuff. This is just what comes out. And a lot of times I come to realizations while I'm speaking. So you might see me go, whoa, that was crazy. Because sometimes I talk and I get mixed up and I don't know what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden in the end, I put it all together and it's just like, oh, wow, that was a really good one. I'm gonna try to keep that one. But anyways, these guys are terrorists stealing our minds. It's not for them to embrace. Our memories are altered. Know that just in case. It's not for them. They don't know us. They just want to be us. So why should we, even do anything they say? And they make it seem like you should. The memories are altered, and that's for damn sure. Like I said in other videos, they'll take something and attach a negative to it, and all of a sudden you're starting to feel negative about that situation. As long as you know the truth and you know how you felt during that time, do not change it. That's exactly what they want to do, is they want to change and alter the past, like a Mandela effect. And that's one of, I was trying not to remember my dreams last night, but that just kind of clicked. Last night my dream was something about Mandela effect and how they're changing our minds. Wow. I'm gonna have to think about that one later. But that's crazy. The realization right there. Okay, so they turn people into a nutcase and schizo. I already explained that, and that's what they're preparing for. It shows all the people talking about R&M in their videos, so many in a row. That's true. I go to different websites, platforms, and I see what other people are talking about. And a lot of people know, and there's so many that I can't watch them all, and I believe that R&M is just a cover up for the gang stalking. And it's just a way to make it legal, a way to have something to fall back on, new age human trafficking. So now they're kind of protected as well. But this is against the Constitution. We have constitutional rights, Bill of Rights. We have the right to keep our own property without being stolen. There's no warrants, and even if somebody were to have a warrant, they obviously have a warrant because of something they've done. They will be prosecuted in the sense of law. This is not law. This is not something that can be lawful. This is extreme voyeurism, and this needs to be prosecuted in itself. I believe that 1 to 4 years isn't enough. Um, so I hope that when somebody gets caught, there's multiple people to stand up and talk. So maybe they can get multiple sentences of 4 years and get more. But I believe they're trying to make it to the point where it's okay for them to do it, and they have a way to fight back as long as the person has a certain type of mind, which the certain type of mind they can induce. They can create this type of mind, and this is where it kind of protects them. Is if they can create that mind, then it gives them a reason to do it. Um, so maybe they don't record anything in the beginning or whatever until you get into that state of mind, and then they start recording, or something like that, just for their own protection. I don't know about you, but they always talk about recording and not recording and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care. I've got enough information here that I can step into a courtroom and defend myself without a lawyer. So that's where I'm trying to head. I would love help if anybody's got any help, information on people I can get a hold of, a way to prove this on paper, so I can bring that as well, like EMF signals. I don't have a printer that works, and so I have to write all my stuff down. Um, I wish I had some ink, but anyways, so many in a row. Let's grow. Show them that it's not simple. This isn't simple. This is some pretty extremely technical stuff. I can go on for days about that. Everything and every time they choose causes a ripple, and that's that fan effect that I was telling you about. Your choices to handle, and then as you grow, as you get older, your choices change, and it's like a ripple, the type of fan that you would fan your face off with. Um, and the ripples are different roads that you can take with the choice. So and it gets more bigger as you get older, because like I say, if you were to change the past, the future could drastically change in a way that you couldn't believe, just by a choice. So they can prosecute so they can prosecute. Yeah, that's all they're trying to do is prosecute you, put you in the system, and be able to use their voyeurism on a normal basis and have something to back it up. Um, they're here to bot root our minds. So bot is the microscopic that I was telling you about. It's a possibility. I have no proof. Root, just like our cell phones, they can root your phone if you got like an Apple or something like that without touching it. But if you got like an Android or something like that, they'd have to physically touch it or somehow get into your information, which they can easily get because they're seeing through your eyes. Get your information and root your phone from there, from the phone companies and all that kind of stuff. I found a patent to pretty much all the cell phones, the types of cell phones and all that from the cell towers. That's part of the patent system. So they have access to our cell phones, and they duplicate them. And that's pretty much what the rooting would be, is a duplication. There's been a time where I was going through a major episode back in the day when I didn't understand, and something popped up on my phone, and it was a duplication app, and I never looked that up before. I looked at my phone, and it showed two other cell phones accessing my cell phone, and these are phones I've never seen before. Types of phones that I don't buy. I buy cheapy phones, like $10 phones or whatever. I don't like cell phones. I don't like technology whatsoever anymore. I used to be really into it, but now I'm not. I'm pretty sure I know what it's capable of, and the way the direction is heading nowadays, I don't want to be any part of it. Um, I just want to go dig a hole somewhere and live in like a hobbit hole. That'd be cool. Uh, yeah, a hobbit hole house. That'd be really fun and beneficial in many ways. Let's see. Harvesting like we're pines. Yeah, they're growing us and they're waiting for us to be harvested. And this is just like an analogy. Um, and so when they can access us, and after a certain amount of time in our life that we create this judgment in our head, get all these bad decisions made, and start having doubt and all that kind of stuff that they can work off of, they access, and then they start using their saws and everything to cut us down and destroy our lives. So it's like harvesting pines. wood. They're creating other things with it for their benefit, discarding us like we're Rhines. And once they access us and tear us down, they just throw us away. Put us in the system. And that's pretty much discarding the rind. It's like, oh, we ate all the fruit off of this person. Let's throw that away and go on to the next piece. I'm starving, because they're voyeurists and they're obsessed, and they don't know when to stop. So that was the poem. I feel like my state of mind ever since I started the video has changed. It's more positive. I'm flowing more. I'm speaking faster. I'm getting out of that zombie state that I was kind of feeling before, and that's why I wanted to make the video. I like to show all the different types of state of minds and how to work them. This was one that this makes me feel positive, that I'm helping other people. So when I started getting into that negative thought pattern, I changed my situation and I started doing this. And now look, I'm speaking and feeling a lot better. Even though I am kind of feeling sick, I feel better, So I had another writing here that I wrote in the very, very beginning. It's kind of out there. It's not a poem or anything like that. It's just like a random page. But it talks about like a little bit of theories that aren't proven and all this stuff. So it's just, this writing right here is just the state of mind. So this is just a theory. What if there are bots, microchips, that are microscopic in chemtrails, food, and water systems, attaching itself to the cerebrum and cerebellum, affecting decision-making, belief systems, and influenced purchased items, thus creating control without consent. Cell phone is the first chip you voluntarily hold and incriminate yourself or expose privacy. If they wanted, they can access anything on your device at any time they please. Control, 21st century. Agenda 21. That was that was just a lot of things that was going through my mind, trying to figure it all out. It's very complicated. There's a lot to it. If anybody would like to help, start reading patents. Start figuring out how this thing works and how they send the signal back. If we can get a hold of that information, we can figure out how to intercept their transmission completely and bounce it back, or record it and have physical proof that this is happening. It's really hard to get a hold of somebody that can prove this, and it's designed that way. They're making it very hard for the average person to be able to access this type of information, or these types of these tools that you would need, like maybe a neurologist with some kind of brain activity program that can show artificial firing or track the EMFs that are coming in. So if anybody wants to help with that kind of stuff, that'd be awesome. Those are the logistics I'm talking about, and that I always talk about, I should say. The logistics are very vital to winning this. I don't like calling it a game in physical. I only think it, but to override this invasion, to be the savior in your own brain. So let's just get together and stick together and fight this as one instead of separate. We need to get closer, and we need to remember that not everybody is trustworthy. So there's going to be your infiltrators and the people that want to get in just to get information. Let's do it back. If anybody knows how to intercept this foundation or organization, do it. Just don't get in so deep that you're gonna expose yourself, or that you're not one of them, or get them to put up a guard, because we want to keep them to the point where they're not worried, and that will keep their guard down. So we can get more information and proof, and maybe people's names that are involved, and go in that way. Let's go through the back door, or let's go right through the front door. That's even better. Let's go through the front door and maybe show a fake ticket or so, however they do it. I don't know. But let's figure this out. Instead of just talking about it, let's do something. Let's turn our state of minds into so positive that they have no triggers to use. Let's stop giving them material. Sooner or later, they're going to have to shut it down because they're not getting the effect that they were planning. And I believe that I found their sponsors, and it was off the lens.org website. And it shows patent numbers that are being used, and it shows, if you go through the information, it shows the people that fund it, the big organizations that fund this kind of stuff. And the way they're involved is they influence us to buy certain things from certain places, which creates more revenue. So it just be aware of the things that you buy and where you buy them too. You know, if you're a TI and you know it, then you know you can counteract it. But if you don't know you're a TI because you can't hear it, it's your actions that they're doing, and it's the things that you're buying. Now just look at what you're buying, and if you need it, how you can maybe make it yourself. That's how I think. How can I do this myself without having to go to a store? I try to reuse everything, so you know less goes into the landfills, stuff like that. Try to grow all my own vegetables and fruit, eggs. I have chickens. It's the meat. You know, I'm not much of an animal killer or anything like that, so it's really hard for me to. Besides the eggs, I mean those they're not fertile anyways. I don't have a rooster, but they're gonna rot, and I see it as use it instead of lose it. So it's the animals that I can't really. If I have to eat it, yeah, I could probably figure out some way. But I don't really have animals like that just because. And I really would like to stop eating meat, but I'm an omnivore. You could tell by my teeth. I am missing a couple, but that's the hard life I was talking about. That's the experience that brought me to this stage. I believe that's how I'm able to understand what they're doing so easily. It's just all a state of mind, and I've been through all of them, so I know how to use them to my advantage. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go here. Let's see if I have anything here real quick that I'd like to share. There's another one that I wrote, and it was a little while ago, so I'll share that one next video. So let's see. Let's change. I've already done that one. Yeah, so that book has already been pretty much shared. I've got multiple books, so I see somebody's on. If they got a question, go ahead and say something. I'm about to get off because I don't want to nothing. Okay, so they took off. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go now. I'll go write a bunch of stuff down and then make another video or like either tomorrow or maybe tonight. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Nice seeing you guys. I'm Rickles. Namaste.